invite in the tarot, the message that they have to offer. We know that the cards do not lie. We know that they are another way for us to find deep wisdom and understanding. And we thank the cards for being in our circle tonight. So the first card I pulled for our past was the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords says, I take care of the details and stay in control. This is from the Crystal Power Tarot, by the way. It has suggested crystals to work with too. I wrote about these on my website, but this one suggests ametrine. If you want to work with that, you can read more about why on my site if you want. Let's talk about the Page of Swords. Anytime you have swords, you are cutting ties and setting boundaries. And every time you have a page, you are given your first real opportunity, or you are learning how to do this for real. And this is all we've talked about tonight, right? Like, this is the energy of what we're doing. We've had shadow season in our past to let things come up and decide what we're going to let stick around and what we're going to let move through. We've had Sagittarius season move in with fire to help us to cut the ties that we haven't been able to fully do yet. And now we have the Page of Swords coming in as our past card to say, hey, you've done the work. You've rested, you've healed, you've taken your medicine, you've gained your wisdom, you've trained for a battle, you've built your strength. Now go do it. You know what you have to do. Cut the cord, right? Set the boundary and make sure that you do it sooner than later so that you don't have this stuff carrying over into the next year. One thing I like about this card is you have all these little butterflies and feathers floating around. And the feathers there to kind of represent the divine process of letting go and releasing, how we can cut ties and cut cords and set distance and boundaries with more kindness and more love. But also the butterflies represent kind of the transformation of energy. So, you know, when you let somebody go, they have an energy now to handle within themselves that wasn't going to you anymore, and they can work on themselves more. Also, you might experience grief when you end a relationship, and with that grief, you need to understand that you are creating space for something beautiful to come in. You are transforming some really stagnant energy, and you're creating a space for you to bring in the most, beautiful form of creative energy in your mind that you could ever imagine. So trust in the release. It's always going to bring about space for new. For our present card, I have the Lovers in reverse. Stone on there is rose quartz. The message is, I trust my knowing and make a commitment. You can't make this up, that you pull a card about commitment, and right now our moon is in Jyesta Nakshatra, which is represented by the commitment of a ring or a committed love or committed relationship. Now this card is upside down, so it's in protection message. It's in a warning because guess what? Mercury Retrograde, it's happening tomorrow. We've already talked about it. We're going to have probably past lovers rise up out of the darkness. It's just kind of a known thing that your exes show up whenever you're in Mercury Retrograde. So if that happens during this time, you really want to make sure that you are handling those exchanges appropriately. Maybe you don't answer the call at all, or the text, or the message, or the DM. You just let it go. But if you do invite it in, really understand how to handle the energy and know what to do, because you don't want to get overwhelmed with it. I also think this card is coming up upside down right now because we want to be careful about any sort of commitments, contracts, agreements, anything that's coming through. We really want to not form any of that bond or connection until after January 1st. January 2nd, Mercury will be direct and it'll be a little bit better. We tend to have a lot of proposals during the holidays. A lot of will you marry me's, lovers in reverse. As your present card is kind of suggesting to not do that. Don't propose during the next few weeks. Just don't do it. And don't buy anything expensive either that you've really, really loved and really, really wanted to buy, like a house or a boat or a car or a motorcycle, and it's the holidays. Don't do it. You will have remorse. Don't invite in friendships, romanticism, any of that, unless you want it to stick around for a while. For our future card, we have the Ace of Cups. Always a good one to pull, especially on a new moon. I welcome new love and trust what it brings. This is dealing with Mercury Retrograde. We're coming up in Mercury Retrograde, and that's going to bring up people, and we're going to have to decide, do we need to cut ties or not? What this card is telling us is that every time we let go, we invite in somebody else. I mean, it's pretty much like the Page of Swords and the symbolism on the card, but now we're just like saying, hey, you know, cups are always about relationships and energetic exchanges and emotions. And when we have this Ace of Cups, it's the opportunity to begin again or form new beginnings. So you can form new bonds, new ways of exchanging your energy, or you can just create space to invite in new people and the potential of that coming into your future. I also think it's interesting that we have a lot of blue on here because we should be dealing with the throat chakra right now. And the suggested stone to work with here is aquamarine, which is a deep, deep healing stone. So if you have anything physical, medical going on right now with your health, or if you're just looking for better like mental and emotional balance, aquamarine can really help you with that. Now, I went ahead and pulled a bonus card, and not something I usually do, but with this Mercury retrograde coming in, I just felt like we needed a message for it alone. And with that, I pulled the Five of Pentacles. The message on the Five of Pentacles says, I am supported and never alone. Do you see a theme here? Five is about growth and a little bit about family. Your pentacles are always about fortune and wealth and gold. And when we have the Five of Pentacles, it's telling us that, hey, we kind of have to de-weed our garden. We have to get rid of the weeds in our spiritual garden so that we can grow. We have all this fortune, wealth, this wealthy life, this dream life. We have it waiting for us. It's literally like right there, just out of our grasp. But we're not going to reach it if we can't grow up and glow up to get there. So you need to find your inner circle. This is like the stone surrounded by these other stones. You've got to find your inner circle of people that you want to model your life after. Find your people that you can network with that want to help you and support you. Find people who believe in you as much as you need to believe in yourself. Find people who encourage you the way that you encourage them. It's all collaborative, right? So Five of Pentacles, ruled by Malachite, by the way, another heartstone. So we have got rose quartz, which is a heartstone. We have got Malachite, which is a heartstone. These are stones that encourage us to live out of our heart, but also respect ourselves enough and respect our inner worth enough to love ourselves enough to let people go if they are not for our greatest good. It's all about people this time, sorry. It's not about jobs. It's not about commitments in any other way. It's about people. Get your people right this holiday season. Sorry if that was loud. I yelled and there's an echo in here. Get your people right. Get your circle right. Get your inner circle right.